My name's Matt, I'm alcoholic. We'll open this meeting up with a moment of silence, followed by the serenity prayer. If you ain't never been here before, it's a little bit longer than a second to kind of clear our brains and hopefully have a new experience with these steps. And lay aside any doubts and prejudice.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
To move on to the further ado of this, if you ain't ever been here before, this is not your average meeting. We believe in following along, paying attention, and being considerate. If you do want to talk, you could just go outside, you know. You don't have to disrupt everybody in the meeting and just cut up like you're in kindergarten. Also, if you don't have a book, we'll loan you a book, you know. So this meeting is not a registered Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. We do pass the basket, and that is to pay for books and pay for other things, for as rent, coffee, We reach a certain point, we quit passing the basket because we cannot donate to Alcoholics Anonymous because they can't take outside contributions. We have prayed about making it registered, but everybody says that it's not broken, don't fix it. So that's what God came back with so far. We revisit it later. Last week we talked about Alcoholics Anonymous and how AA started, and we talked about, you know, the Washingtonians and all this other movement, and now we're going to be talking about step one. Step one came from Dr. Siltwork, and the first step, the principle is honesty. You know, and we're going to be marching through and talking about, you know, look, I'm not going to drown you with the liver and pancreas and the enzymes and all this other stuff because I really don't know all that stuff. Because it really didn't make sense for me. You know, somebody who could read and very intelligent, it would make a lot of sense. There's a reason why there's circles here. Because my dumb butt, I could recognize allergy, mental obsession. But when it's a whole bunch of words together, it looks like a damn book. And I'm like, what the fuck does all that mean? I can't read it. You know, it don't make sense, but then I can separate them. So we're going to go to the doctor's opinion. XXVII. Yeah, I believe so. Let's do it. Let's do this. What's the doctor's opinion? Oh, shit. Your shit's falling apart.
It's already been.
Start right there. Okay. Hit that page number.
XXVI.
Wait for everybody to find it. They're talking, trying to figure it out.
The physician who, at our request, gave us this letter has been kind enough to enlarge upon his views in another statement which follows. In this statement, he confirms what we who have suffered alcoholic torture must believe.
So alcoholic torture, just think about it. Like, I remember like going before I went to detox and before I went to treatment, it was alcohol torture. I was like detoxing, my head was running, my body was rejecting the chemicals I put in my body. I was physically having to have this shit, and within 28 days, I was hashtag sober this. That don't make no sense. What happened to my torture? It's gone. Keep reading.
That the body of the alcoholic is quite as abnormal as his mind. It did not satisfy us to be told that we could not control our drinking just because we were maladjusted to life, that we were in full flight from reality, or we were outright mental defective. So it was, you know, these were true to a certain extent that what they're talking about, that we are sure that our body is sick and well. And what they're talking about, like when I'm on a spree, I'm in full flight from reality at that point. There's no shut up. For me, the type of alcoholic I am, I don't know who you are, what you are, and only you can. That's the cool thing about Alcoholics Anonymous. This is a self-diagnosed problem. We give you the information out of our own experience. Dr. Siltwork, his opinion, he's giving you his opinion. But then another drunk sits right across from you. That's how Alcoholics Anonymous started. Because in my mind, I'm suffering from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Seemingly in my mind that I'm completely screwed. That there's no hope for me. That I'm beyond call. That if you did get sober in Alcoholics Anonymous, you're not like me.
So that's very important. One alcoholic talking to another, for him to talk my language, that my body is sick, means an abnormal reaction to alcohol and drugs, means a physical craving. Now, there's two different types of people, mainly true for petitional women alcoholics. Most women, I'm not saying all, most women dump it in their body, they're on to the races. Like it's no like, now you have a potential guy alcoholic, we may start off eating one lower time of the day saying we are doing good. Might just start out drinking a little bit. I don't understand this physical stuff, you know. Might use kratom for a month or two. Maybe even plug some Prozac, you know, whatever it is, okay? So, but, because that's what kept me out there. I speak there because, look, I would start off drinking, doing 2 lines of cocaine, and I'm like, man, you know, these people, I don't know what they're talking about. When in a week, I'm doing 1 gram. Yeah. But nowhere in there did I have the power not to do a chemical the next day. I say a power to not do a chemical. See, I'm the type, I've been in and out of AA so many times because I'm really retarded and dumb, that I've been in and out so many times I've tried every chemical. I'd be like, you know what, the cocaine had me down bad in the crack, I'm going to do meth. You know, and then I get all messed up on that, run my ass in the mental hospital detox. Then I'll be like, all right, I'm just going to eat Xanaxes to drink natural light, you know. And then I do that and start fighting everybody, puts a gun in my mouth, and end up in the mental hospital. I get out of there and say, I'm just going to eat lower tabs. You know, makes me work hard. You know, and then by then I didn't forgot. I'm like, hell, I'm back on cocaine again. You know, so it's just like, but I always wanted to start off just smoking some weed and drinking. You know, like, oh, this ain't gonna hurt me. You know, or one time I realized I'm gonna smoke some Mojo. You know, like, man, if you got to dump a monotopical chemical in your body and you take that chemical every day to think you're fucking okay, what's wrong with you? Yeah, there might be some mental health people that might need some medicine, and that's for you and God and a doctor to figure out. I might still be mentally ill. I don't know. But if you look at an alcoholic and you look at a mental health person, a psychopath, they look identical. Ain't that sucks? Yeah? The psychopath just can't get enough out of life. The psychopath is never happy. The psychopath thinks everything else is going to make him be better. The psychopath takes medicine and he quits taking it because he thinks everything's great. Huh? We take AA dope and we quit doing it because everything's great. And then we get sick again. Okay, right on. Keep reading.
These things were true to some extent, in fact, to a considerable extent with some of us. But we are sure that our bodies were sickened as well. In our belief, any picture of the alcoholic which leaves out this physical factor is incomplete.
When I was 17 years old, after being in and out of AA so many times, when Kevin told me about the allergy in the mental session, he sold me on this. Boom. This was very, very important because this was the key of why I kept relapsing. This made sense. This, liver, enzyme, equal 1 craving, equals 2 craving, equals 3 craving. What the hell are you talking about? I just couldn't really believe in it, you know? It's kind of like, it's like me trying to sound good without using my experience. Does that make sense? This is not like an education. I'm not here to educate you. I'm here as a drunk to share my experience, strength, and hope. And whether you agree, that's up to you. I'm not here to make you agree. I'm not here to recruit you. I'm not here to make no money off you. I'm just up here to share my experience, strength, and hope. So when another alcoholic talked about he had to drink every day, and I'm a drinker, I love to drink, or he had to smoke weed, and he had to do cocaine, or had to do meth to work and function and feel like he was normal, that made sense to me. See, if I leave out the physical factor and I'm really not sure about this, then by the time I get to step 10 and you get to restore the sanity and you be interested in liquor, why would you recall from as a high flame? You would dump it back in your body. Oh, is the bad stuff happening? No, I know what waits for me. If I dump something in my body, I'm on a roller coaster that I cannot stop. Period. That's what this means. That's what this means, huh? Anybody ever dump that stuff in your body, been sober a while, and then you come up, you dump it in after 2 or 3 days, you're like, I need to go back to AA. I need to go to detox, you know? And you're trying to stop that. You're trying to stop it. There's no stopping it. You can go to detox, dry your ass out. But if you're anything like me, there's no stopping it. For me, I had to go through the same cycle of the consequences and me swearing to God I'm not going to do it again. I had to get beaten down so bad where the only chance of like true working steps and powerless came from like I'm on a mission to find some kind of power and my life's a living wreck. I'm not saying you have to lose everything. I'm not saying, you know, we get so tied up with, yeah, Matt has buku charges, this person maybe sold it by. Look, that's just some consequences, okay? You don't have to lose everything. You can have everything and be completely miserable. I had a car, I had rims, I had beat, I had money. I even had, look, when I was smoking crack, it wasn't like I need to go jack somebody. I go write a check in my daddy's room. He'll hold out my check. Like some people, oh, that's enabling. No, I sat back there and died. I sat back there and not wanting to do that stuff and continue to do it. It was a blessing. See, that's the thing about it. You got to respect alcoholism. Somebody goes on a spree, you got to support them. Not saying give them money, but you got to let them go. Let them take step one. When you walk in a room at Alcoholics Anonymous, this is what a lot of people don't see. We look at, yeah, there might be some sober people in here, but you got a lot of people taking step one. You got a lot of people not convinced. You got a lot of people that's not even alcoholics. You can watch back 2 or 3 years later and see that. You stay sober long enough. And if you're not paying attention, you follow them people. And if you're like me, I relapse following them people. You know? I had to get around some people that didn't really look too fun. Keep reading.
Practice theory that we have an allergy to alcohol interests us. As laymen, our opinion as to its soundness may of course mean little. But as ex-problem drinkers, we can say that this explanation makes good sense. It explains many things for which we cannot otherwise account.
That makes sense, huh? We can sit here and talk about the liver and pancreas. I can sit here and talk about your cousin molesting you. I can sit here and talk about all this stuff. We can talk about all this medicine. But it don't make no sense of why everything's going good in your life and you believe a lie and dump that shit back in your body again. You know? As much as the question is like, by the grace of God, this little guy gets removed for me. And after a week, like what detox is designed to do if you're not taking all this damn medicine to wean you off of whatever chemical it is, go to jail. You think they're going to give you any medicine? So, you know, but what detox is designed to do is to get the stuff to quit talking to you, to dry you up. That's it. Look, detox ain't, you know, some places we're still giving them chemical. I used to go to a mental hospital. I used to eat a lot of Roach 10 volumes and fight people and want to commit suicide. And when I go to the mental hospital, they used to give me low milligrams of volumes to come off of them. And I got out. I just continued to take them, you know, because the stuff never quit for me. You got to separate me from this. And it's got to quit talking to me. And, you know, my mind is still telling me any more necessary, you know, I'm just going to do it today. It's going to be different. I can't face this. Do. Keep reading. Though. Keep reading. Though
we work out our solution on the spiritual as well as the altruistic plane.
So the spiritual, what Carl Jung gives us, and the altruistic means giving myself to others, expecting nothing back in return. So that's our solution. That's our solution, which is spiritual, and the recovery, the service, the unity. Building unity, helping others, and giving ourselves to others to expect nothing back in return. Giving ourselves to people that don't care. Like, I'm not doing this for you to give me a fucking like on Facebook. I'm not doing this to have 800 friends. I'm not doing this for everybody to say, hey, look at Matt. I don't care what you think about me. I'm just here to try to help a drunk. And by that return today, or where I'm at in this week, I cannot think about fishing. That's what I'm obsessing on this week. So, you know, that's it. I could get back to sanity, back to truth, back to the primary purpose is putting other people ahead of my own. How would this, like the 4 absolute, how would this affect my group? By me carrying myself this way, by me trying to help people, how would this affect my group? Is it unselfish? Is it love? Is it pure? Is it pure to God? And is it pure to my fellows? Am I being honest? Am I being honest with my fellows? Am I being honest with the people that are around me? You know? What's your true motives? Are you doing this for people to see it? Or are you doing this just to kind of just try to help somebody to escape disaster? Only you and God knows. Keep reading.
We favor hospitalization for the alcoholic who is very jittery or befogged. More often than not, it is imperative that a man's brain be cleared before he is approached, as he has then a better chance of understanding and accepting what we have to offer.
You know, look, there's a big difference in trying to talk to a guy who just got out of detox and talking to a guy who's like run out of money in a hotel room still banging dope. I'm not going to go over there. How's that shit working for you? You keep dumping it in your body, starting off physicality, mental obsession. I used to be like that. Blah, 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 blah. Now, the guy who's just got a detox, yeah, your head's running pretty hard. Now I can talk about some of this shit. I can talk about when I got a detox and I'm thinking about all the shit I need to fix. You know? Because I can disturb him. Or he, look, just got out of treatment. Been out of treatment for 2 months. You know, kind of puzzled. Keep playing on his phone. Posting 18 selfies a day. So, you know, every chipmunk. So then I could just convert him to where I'm at today, and either he's going to ask me to sponsor him, or he's going to get the hell away from me. See, what I mean, at one point do you like, I'm not here to harvest anything I've done or any thought process that I've been through. Them thoughts process and them crazy thoughts enables me to get down with other people. Oh, I've been there. Oh, yeah, your head's running, huh? You got to post all them pictures. You got to let everybody know what you're doing on Facebook. Where you at in your amends? Oh, you ain't made no amends. Oh, no wonder why you have no self-esteem. No wonder why you need everybody to know what the fuck you're doing. Because the guilt and shame remorse is dominating your ass and you can't even fucking see it. Keep reading.
The subject presented in this book seems to me to be of paramount importance to those afflicted with alcoholic addiction. I say this after many years' experience as medical director of one of the oldest hospitals in the country treating alcoholic and drug addiction.
So Dr. Silva treated alcohol and drug addiction. Oh, you're a drug addict? Get the hell out of here. Now look, in Alcoholics Anonymous, I would say my name's Matt, I'm an alcoholic. Am I going to go in there? Now in here we talk about whatever help we want. But in AA, I'm not going to talk about like, you know, shooting dope and blood running out the other side of the needle. I'm not going to talk about pushing the pipe and having to poop on myself in Winn-Dixie parking lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to talk about that. There's no reason for that. What's pretty cool, if you stay sober long enough and try to help people, you can keep going with this out of your own experience of the lies you believed and dumping it back in and trying Prozac and trying Suboxone and trying methadone and all this other stuff. And, you know, instead of doing methamphetamine, we're going to do Adderall. We're going to clean the house tonight and wrap all these presents against. You know what I'm saying? You know? And you can use all kind of experiences, you know? You can use all kind of experiences. Then later on, when he gets to about step 11 and step 12, you'll be like, man, I never shot dope my whole life. He'd be like, what? I don't even like Lower Tide. They suck, you know? Roxy's, I'll sell them and go get me 2 for $30. You're like, you fooling me. You tricked me. I'm like, yeah, okay. Don't lie. Whether you shot heroin or whether you smoked meth or whether you drank natural light, you know, it's all about the same if you're a real alcoholic like me, that once you start, you can't stop. And when you're dead sober and everything seems to be going good, you believe a fucking lie again. What are we talking about here? You know, why we gotta, now don't expect AA and keep it roomy. Keep to the basics. Keep to the basics. You get that newcomer, you can tell them all about shit. But like, you know, I pick and choose. Like if this guy did meth and this guy smoked crack and I'm working with both of them, I'm gonna share him about my meth stories. I'm gonna tell him about my crack story. I'm not gonna go over here and tell him about, you know, pushing the pipe, climbing up chimney with a knife hanging out my mouth and shit, and like doing the Vietnam crawl, you know? I'm not, it's all about classifications. Because that newcomer's attention span is so short, and you're trying to keep them there. I don't know if you ever sponsored anybody, but one wrong word, he starts going like this. You know, and you're like, oh shit, I got to wheel him back in. You know, I might be talking to the crowd, but you know, it's very important. Or you'd be like, you know, we go to church on Sunday, and he's like, I got a house meeting, man. You know, like, what the hell happened, bro? Thought you wanted to find God. I did, but not Jesus. You know, like, oh my God, okay. Dude's a fucking atheist. So, keep reading.
There was therefore a sense of real satisfaction when I was asked to contribute a few words on a subject which is covered in such masterly detail in these pages. We doctors have realized for a long time that some form of moral psychology was of urgent importance to alcoholics, but its application presented difficulties beyond our conception. With what are ultra-modern
This is what Dr. Siltwork is telling us. I love this part, and the only reason why I'm reading it is just to shoot some shoots at people, because what Dr. Siltwork, his opinion, medical fact, one of the alcoholic saints we have around here, but what he's saying with his scientific approach to everything, keep reading, watch this.
What with our ultra-modern standards,
Yes.
our scientific approach to everything, we are perhaps not well equipped to apply the powers of good that lie outside our synthetic knowledge.
All right, I'm not saying don't ever go to counseling. I'm about to go do a little counseling adventure and see if they're going to give me some Prozac to plug or something, you know. So, you know, but I'm not saying don't go to counselors, but counselors never did help me. I'm saying me, okay? You can sit here and we could write, look, I done told counselors everything. I done told counselors I was molested by guys and girls growing up. I done told them my mom smoked crack. I done told them all this. And you know what they told me? Go to AA. They told me the Prozac wasn't going to help unless I stopped using, smoking pot, and drinking. Well, how the hell you do that? Go to AA. Back to square one. I love them counselors. My son goes to counselor. We talk for hours. I eat that shit up. I'm a big talker about psychology, moral, all that other shit. But it does me no good. Because I need to understand, at some point, I need to understand I'm not the only crazy person sitting in the goddamn room. Does that make sense? I don't need you to tell me 10, 11, and 12. I don't need you to tell me write pages of 60 to 63. I don't need you to give me a fine for not doing goddamn chores. I'm an undisciplined alcoholic. You cannot mold me in anything. You cannot put me with a whole bunch of people and just expect me to change. Now, if I want to change and being with the right people, it helps. But the person has to seek God. The desire must come within. Everybody in the world don't need to change as much as I need to change. And then I have to want to change. I have to desperately want to change. And the bad thing is, the other half of this is realize that I can't do it. That's the biggest grinder here. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, you experience this shit. If you're sober right now, not doing kratom, not doing other shit, you're no longer craving this. Throw that shit out the window. Now, in time, your body is aging. Your immune system's getting weaker. It means that this is getting even more stronger and stronger. It's not like your disease is out there doing push-ups. That's the most worst demonstration I ever heard. Anybody ever think about that? I always picture this guy like on steroids, you know, and like, I'm going to get you. You know, I got like demons all on him. Come on, man. I just want to understand, like, how come I used to only be able to do ecstasy on weekends and sleep all night and have, like, Vicks blowing in me with orange juice and hot showers and giving everybody massages to having to do this shit every day and not even enjoying it? What happened? I used to only do cocaine on the weekend. I used to do 1 or 2 lines, and that was it. People used to come buy shit from me, and I used to laugh at them. So what happened? What happened when I crossed that line, and once I crossed it, I never could gang that bitch back? Like the cucumber and pickle type stuff. So the grinder is, the obsession. Now, the cool thing is about this obsession, we're going to liberate more in it. Get ready for XXVII, Doctor's opinion. So the cool thing about the obsession is everybody has this, God's grace. If you did not get the obsession removed, then you wouldn't be here. There's a difference between a thought, I would like to drink a beer, and obsession. My personal opinion. My personal opinion, when the obsession hits me, I'm screwed. Except in a few rare cases in him or any human being can provide such a defense. Means when that obsession hit, it's not going to be like, let me call Kyle. I think I need to talk to Tevin. I think I could just drink a beer. That's obsession. I think it's going to be different. I've been sober for 3 or 6 months. Them AA people might need to do some of them steps, but I could just do this. That's obsession, and I believe a lie. See, if you already believe a lie, for me, no human being could tell me anything different. I'm screwed. My thing is, detox, week 1, 28 days, facility, sober living, 3 to 6 months, whatever it is, I'm in there. Now, I like to look at willingness. And I go back through my life, and I look at detox. I was willing to work every step, show up at every meeting, and pay attention and be considerate. After treatment, I don't know why I need to make these amends. I don't know why I need to help others. Everything's great. 2 or 3 months later, I'm creating so much harm by posting so much shit on Facebook and sleeping with so many women, and nobody understands me, and I don't think nothing's wrong. And I'm already out the door. If you stay around long enough, you can see these people already out the door, and you can't even help them. They respect you. They understand you, but they're gone. That's the worst thing to see. I don't know, man. You have to sponsor a lot of people. I see this stuff all the time. And it happened to me so many times. Hell, everything was going good. And then this thought would come, 2 years sober. I've been 2 years sober, 1.5 years sober, and like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna drink a little bit. I'm just gonna do 1 line of cocaine. You know, I get back sober. I'm gonna eat some acid. You know, it ain't gonna hurt me. Bill W. did it. You know, and I believe that lie. Then I snort some cocaine, and then my wife wanted to have sex on the beach, and then she starts crying, and she ruins my high. It's a true story. Yeah, it is. It was like when we got on that beach, and I thought, you know, we're gonna make love in front of this muddy water in Grand Isle, you know, and I'm like numb, jaw switching, her jaw's twisting, you know, and a blanket out, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, and she looks at me because I put her through hell, and she knows she's a normal person, was at the time, you know, and she looks at me and just starts crying, and she's like, I don't want you to do what you always do, and you can't stop, and you're selling drugs, and you're robbing people, and you're digging through my phone, calling all my workers, you know, and I'm just like, that's not gonna happen. And in my mind, I'm trying to blot that out so bad, dude. Because like right there, you know, it was like ease and comfort from drugs and alcohol, but instantly truth and guilt. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. No. What's wrong? You were not lying, you know? Suck, bro, suck. That's when I realized 9/11/09. So anyway, meaning of the story is, pick up reading.
We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol in these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, that the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker.
That's very important for us to understand, for me to understand. Like, I kept thinking that I want to be like this guy that I grew up with, you know, my ex-brother-in-law, you know, me and him ran the streets hard. We did a lot of drugs together, sold drugs, did all kinds of stuff together. You know, I mean, he'd stay up weeks at a time with me when we was teenagers. The dude just smoked weed. One time he all wigged out from the nose and ended up quitting for a couple months and went in church and saved his life and stuff. You know, he ended up quit smoking on his own, you know, like, I'm still strung out on cigarettes, you know. But the thing is, the meaningless to say that I have all these people, once they grew up, they had some kids. I'm different from them people, man. It's sorry. You know, like my dad, bro, he drinks 3 or 4 drinks a day. You know, he's one of my favorite demonstrations. He'll drink 3 or 4 drinks, drink a little tea, eat dinner, have a saucy dog, smoke him a half of a joint. He's cool. Half a joint. Ain't that something? A half. He might smoke a whole one. The biggest thing, we'll go fishing that morning. You know, if we're staying at a camp, and I'll be like, Dad, you want me to get you some beer? Oh, we'll be back by lunch. And then my brother's friend, when he goes fishing with us, he is drunk. He came to meetings a few times. I had to get a paper signed. He's like, can you sign my paper? I'm like, just show up for 5 minutes, then you can leave. And he showed up, had a little styrofoam cup he was drinking in the back corner, And after the meeting, he called me. He ended up staying. He really enjoyed it. He said, if I ever get sober, he said, you can help me. Because that made sense. When we go fishing at 7:30 in the morning, he got a 16-ounce Bud Light. That makes sense to me. Like, we're not working. Let's start drinking, Let's my thing was always like, especially fishing, when I went fishing, I bring a whole bunch of weed with me and roll it all up and then having different storage containers, for just in case the boat sank. You want to have enough shit, the boat sinks. You don't want to be out there craving on a shipwreck, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody ever thought like that? Anything could happen, Like, you stash this much of the product here, stash this much here. For somebody comes in here and jacks me, they only gonna find half of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to have so many hiding places. It take me hours to find shit. Because I used to think people were watching me hide stuff, Yeah, but I don't know if you ever done that. I used to do that all the time, bro. I'd punch holes in the back of the wall in closets and stuff, and just keep reading, man. So
these allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form at all. And once having formed the habit and found out they cannot break it.
See, this is what happened to me. Once I formed this habit, I found I couldn't break it. I lost my self-confidence and said, hell, I'm going to be a drunk, a dopehead the rest of my life. I might as well just go to prison or die. Keep reading.
They relied upon things you.
I thought my wife was going to get me sober. I figured my mom and my sister was sober, so maybe they could help me. And I figured all these things. I used to get sober. I'd come up and say, man, I just need a job. I just need to move in this good sober living house. I just need to hang out with Kevin. And man, I need to send these goddamn educations some more. And I think that all these external things were going to get me sober besides actually following the directions and marching with a sponsor. Keep reading.
The problems pile up on them and they become astonishingly
difficult to solve. That's unmanageability. This is what has to happen. Why else would I come to believe that a power greater than me could restore me to my right mind? Because I'm thinking all this other stuff is going to fix me. That's the whole fight here. Hey, bro, think about it. If you're sober right now and you've been in and out of AA, we related to this, huh? This is what you sold me on. This made sense. But did you want to change? No. I just worked these 12 steps. When you're desperately in need and you've realized you cannot change, that sucks. When you know that you can work the steps till you're blue in the face, and no matter how much you do our power, hating God and coming in and knowing that there is a God, make some amends and shit that I think it's better, but knowing that it's right back to square one. That's where I was at. My problems were building up on me because it's difficult to solve, and I realized I still couldn't change. Still today, writing, praying, meditating, doing inventory, doing all that. Why? Because I still can't change. I change on God's terms. I can't fix my defects of character. That's what, until I was at options, I had to stand at that turning point that they was talking about. I had to realize I was beyond human help. That's true powerless and spiritual bankrupt. See, if you're not spiritual bankrupt, then why would you pursue a spiritual program? If you're just powerless over alcohol, then hell, you're sober. Bye. But when you realize you can't stop getting on Facebook, your hair's running, you can't sleep at night, you think everybody's talking about you, and your shit just keeps going downhill. Sober and before we get sober. Think about it. I just went to detox. It was so awesome. The reason why I haven't told my story, and they asked, I said, y'all got any questions? God witness, please help me. Yeah. And the questions helped me so much. Because you know what I forgot about? You remember when you get sober and you think about all this shit you need to do to fix your life? And you don't even realize your life is fucked up because you were trying to fix it. Think about it. I just need to get out of here and get a sponsor. I just need to go to AA. I just need to do that. I just need to go back to premises. Motherfucker, you don't know what you need to do. You thinking is what fucked you up. I don't miss that. I still get like that. But it's not with drugs and alcohol or like other manageability. I have a defensive character whoop my ass and I get sick and I'm trying to figure it out or realize why I'm this sick. It has a lot to do with me not writing. It has a lot to do with me not earnestly praying for God to remove that stuff. And I'm over here trying to figure it out like a dumbass, like chasing my tail. I don't know what's wrong with me. 5 points later. You know, like, I don't know why I hate everybody in my house. I'm trying to run on self-reliance. I can't figure it out. I just hang on, pray for will on this, and try to help somebody. It's just that simple. The principles don't change, but I'll complicate them in my own mind. Keep reading.
Brought the emotional appeal seldom suffices.
That's like family leaving me, my kids crying. I'm smoking crack while they're in the back seat of the car. For emotional appeal to seldom suffices, the drug court, dramatic stuff happening in my life, relapsing. I just go over there and pack my bags. Don't even say that out. And I do that after a week of spree, you know? Like, what am I going to go over there and act like I'm sober? No. See ya. I'm that type of guy. I'm not the type of guy to be like, yeah, I'm sober, man. No, I'm just like, I walk in there, pack my stuff, later. Red roof in, here I come. You know, like, there's nothing to talk about. Do you want help? No, I don't. It's not bad. Why do you say that? That's what I do. I'm like this guy that, you know, when I relapse, you know, my sister, I used to go see my brother-in-law to get weed. That's the only reason why I would go see my sister. I didn't want to be around a sober person, you know. And she'd be like, how's that shit working for you? And she would say, all this shit, man. And I used to piss me off. I'm like, working great. I got charged at 3 different parishes. I can't sleep at night. Just let me get my butt and get the hell out of here and take the edge off. You know, like, God. Keep reading.
The message which can interest and hold these alcoholic people must have depth and weight.
Depth and weight. Depth and weight. What the depth and weight is like, you know, hey, it's not boom, gloom, you're going to die. But like, depth and weight, man, I used to be like that. And I could still be like that. I could still be powerless in my own mind. But I was still like, dude, I remember dumping that in and wanting to stop and couldn't stop. And kept saying that I am going to change and I am going to do that. And as much as I wanted to change and be a good father and be a good son, I couldn't do it. I remember being dead sober, believing a lie. The oldest person to work with is a person that never been sober before or never tried. How are you going to identify with this person coming back? This person's powerful. You know, my grand sponsor always says, he experienced a lot of powerful things in his life. Crack cocaine was a very powerful thing. And the only thing more powerful than that mental session that he experienced is God. You know, and that's something dramatic has to happen within me for me to actually, hopefully, come to believe in this and try to seek this, you know? Keep reading.
In nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves, there to recreate their lives.
So if they want to recreate their lives, you know, when I got sober and I was reading this book up to 63, that stood out to me. Because I knew with the relationship I was in, I knew with the charges in Buku parishes, I knew with living at my dad's house, going through a divorce, I knew if I want to recreate my life, my ideals, the spiritual principles, something I'm aiming for. That's what that means, not an ideal. Your ideas is fucked up, okay? So 86 that. But something I'm aiming for. What I was aiming for was power, period. Something bigger than me. I came to believe in something bigger than me. Some kind of relationship with God bigger than me. I'm trying to find power. Lack of power. We have to find power. How many times for me I'll come in and Kevin would drill me and all this stuff will go on. And then I'm like, oh, God's good and I have power. I'm still powerless, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. Check it out. Unmanageability. That's what, like, you ever want to say, yeah, he realized, died with a needle in his arm. The mental session, alcoholism got him. This. The bad thing is some sponsor probably okey-doked him, you know. Dad played on his phone the whole time he was meeting him, you know. Or just canceled on him because he'd rather go out to dinner with his old lady. Dude couldn't even be part of AA. You know, it's on his conscience, you know. I take that pretty serious. I can't get you sober, but I'm going to give everything I got in me to try to help you. And I don't know whether you get it or not, or whether you get anything out of it or not. That's none of my damn business. That's God's. But the easy comfort and the joy that I get to get back to sanity and truth when I get in the book with them people, that's what I enjoy. Because it's not like, okay, I couldn't believe in this and I got sanity and truth and peace of mind. Maybe a little piece of it, but it's not. It comes from action, labor, action, labor, action, labor. And I'm like, oh, I'm free. I'm free again. This shit's off me. That shit's off. Keep it. We got to get out of this.
Many feel that a psychiatrist directing a hospital for alcoholics would appear somewhat sentimental, and let them stand with us a while on the firing line. See the tragedies, the despairing wives, the little children. Let the solving of these problems become a part of their daily work and even of their sleeping moments.
So what Dr. Silwork is saying at this point, he said, look, if you're kind of upset about the stuff we got going on here, if you're upset and you think that we're too serious because we want you to pay attention and be considerate of the guy that might be really dying from alcoholism, and this is not high school for him, come stand with us for a while. Come watch the 1-year-old kid that might never have a dad again. Come watch 3 or 4 people die a week. Watch 2 sponsees die in 2 days. Come stand with us a while. Come watch them sit in your living room and die the next day of a heroin overdose. Come over here a while. And then you won't be like, oh, that's why he says that. Oh, that's why he said, or like, I'm not a whore ass. Let me go play on your phone. I don't care. But I'm going to also tell you that there's something fucking wrong with you. That if you cannot focus for 1 hour, you're fucked out there. Period. If you have 1 hour to act like you're in AA, 1 hour to pay attention, and really act like it's serious, you think you're going to be really paying attention out there? Nobody's looking out there. You think you're going to go home and read an entire night and think about who you can help and how you can do better? No, you're going to probably watch Facebook all fucking night and check likes and comments and use that to fulfill your instincts instead of God. I'm sorry I'm such an asshole. But I'm not. Because the simple fact goes, what's the world that grabs you and distracts you from God? I had my own stuff. I just said I was fishing, driving the hell out of me. I'm writing about it. And my sponsees know, and my sponsor. We about went fishing outside before this meeting. So, you know. It'd be something else next week. Don't worry. But what's sucking you out the door from your primary purpose? And that's whatever your primary purpose God wants you to fulfill. It's not the world. Keep reading.
The most cynical will not wonder that we have accepted and encouraged this movement. We feel after many years of experience that we have found nothing which has contributed nothing to contribute more than the what, officers? The rehabilitation of these men.
Rehabilitation. Your sponsor, the people you're following, do they have rehabilitation, the unselfishness of these people? Keep reading, watch. That means that they're giving themselves to others. They're on the fire lines. Check it out here. Keep reading. Growing up among them. Not just one. They're like out there just trying to get people. Come on, man, let's get in the book. Let's read some A history. Let's do that. Let's get you connected to God. Let's study the tradition where you could try to act like you're in an AA meeting everywhere you go. You ain't got to. Nobody's forcing you. But my job as Alcoholics Anonymous is to tell you what is Alcoholics Anonymous. We got all 1,800 treatment centers pumping you in. Then the bad thing is, yeah, we give you a book, but by the way, you need to stay in this sober living house. By the way, you need to do 15 hours a week outpatient. By the way, you don't have time to be a part of the Australian movement growing up about you. Sorry, if you don't like it, don't come. But for real. You don't have time to sit there and follow your sponsor around all these meetings, watch him carry the message in detox, get in the book with him 2 or 3 times a week, telling them about the amends you're trying to make, calling them about this. Then, by the way, guess what? Next week, you're going to be hopefully taking somebody outside, or they're going to be giving you some sponsee where you can have some kind of fellowship growing up about you. Meanwhile, 3 months later, nobody stays sober, but one guy's coming out of detox and remember you taking them outside. Where's your unity? Where's your stock market at? Yeah, I worked for a whole year and only had one guy through the steps trying to sponsor people. But later on, here comes this guy. Hey, man, I remember you from Detox. Hey, I remember you from Living Waters. Hey, I remember you from here. And the next thing, shit, I hope somebody else has room. You know, keep it. Men and women drink essentially collect the perfection produced by alcohol. It is so elusive why men injure it. That means why I'm drinking and using this because I like the ease and comfort. I'm doing it for effect. I love the way methamphetamines taste and cocaine. I let it melt. Xanabar, they melt in my mouth. I love the way beer tastes and whiskey. Some people don't like the way this shit tastes. I do. I take a big tar and let that bit melt in my mouth like a BC powder. You know, a little head lamp on me, patting people down. What up? What you got on you? I know you got a camera. Move around. Shit hot right now. Watch that dude. He got pinched last week. I just told him that way they don't buy dope from him. That's how I think. So, you know, while I'm dumping it in my body, I'm saying, man, this is what always happens, all this stuff. I cannot differentiate the truth from false. Listen, truth from false, truth from false. Truth is power, power is God, insanity is truth. That's what I cannot see the truth because I believe a lie. And I think I can fix my life. That's part of a lie too. Keep reading.
To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. They are restless, irritable, and discontented unless they can again experience the sense of ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks which they can see others taking with impunity. After they have succumbed to the desire again, as so many do, and the phenomenon of craving develops, they pass through the well-known stages of a spree.
I dumped the first one in. I go on a well-known spree. I had to have it every day for a year. Keep reading.
Emerging remorseful.
All right, I swear to God, I ain't going to do it again. I started getting charges in Buku Parish, and I'm like, man, I need to get sober again. I swear to God, every night, I'll flush my stuff down the toilet, throw away my needles. I'm going to detox. I never show up, you know, or I get sober for 3 or 4 days. I'm running on my own willpower, how I can fix my life. Hey, maybe you could do one. Maybe it'd be different. Boom, right back to the vicious cycle. This is repeated over and over and over and over unless a person can experience the entire cycle change. Go to 23. Go down in the middle. The tragic truth of the man be a real alcoholic. There's your fear, Tevin. The book falling apart. I didn't grab it, though. One of Tevin's fears is that I grabbed his book one time while I was reading and it all fall apart. Down there, yeah.
All right.
Once in a while, the alcoholic may tell the truth, and the truth is that he had no idea of why he took this. 23.
Go to 23.
Yes, sir. Pick up reading.
Strange to say, it is usually that he has no more idea why he took that first drink than you have.
Alcoholics have some kind of excuses.
Some drinkers have excuses with which they are satisfied part of the time.
Part-time. Oh, part-time. Like, this is why I'm drinking. The wife left me. Or I didn't have friends in AA. Keep reading.
But in their hearts, they really do not know why they did it.
In their hearts. I don't know why I took that drink and why I'm at the Red Roof Inn. Huh? I don't know why I'm walking down the road barefooted. Yeah, I don't know why I'm on Backpage, you know, whatever it is, you know. How the hell I ended up here? You know, like, you know, Vietnam, looking on the floor, vacuum the carpet, keep looking on the floor. You know, keep reading.
Once this malady has a real hold,
Once the malady means a spiritual malady, means that the drugs and alcohol is not working no more. Means, yeah, you get the easy comfort right when you put it in. You know you done spent the rent, but your head start running like, how can I fix this shit? I need more alcohol and more drugs. I need to rob this person. I need to hustle up money for tomorrow. Like your shit is already running, and you're mad at everybody. The world coming down around you. You're in full of fear. The guilt, shame, remorse, all this stuff is turning while you're dumping it in your body. Once this shit has come, you are down for the count. Your shit is not the same no more. There's no like, okay, enjoy yourself, snort 2 lines of cocaine and listen to a little Boosie all night. You know, like, it's not the same no more, man. Keep reading.
there is the obsession that somehow, someday, they will beat the game.
Keep reading.
But they often suspect they are down for the count.
Sucks.
How true this is, few realize.
How true this is, few realize. That's what you're dealing with. How true this is, people don't realize that. Hashtag sober this. We are suffering and people's dying. It's not pretty. I can tell you right now, 10 years ago, I can tell you right now, my stomach turned. I'm talking about this. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I feel hopeless. Keep reading.
In a vague way, their But everybody hopefully awaits the day when the sufferer will rouse himself from his lethargy.
That's my parents. I feel like such a jackass. When I was in the sober living houses, going to strip clubs, doing all this, hanging out with people, shopping at women and doing all this, just not even being present. And my family is hoping I'm getting my shit together down here. Oh, it was up there at Marshville and shit like that, you know? They're hoping that I'm going to exert my will and grow the hell up. But I'm still running the same bullshit. Keep reading.
And assert his power of will. The tragic truth is that if the man
Here, listen. If the man be a real alcoholic, they classified you on page 20. If you don't know where that's at, your sponsor ain't never classified you, read page 20. There's a modern drinker, there's a whore drinker. A whore drinker, he may shoot dope, he may run heavily with us, he may die a few years of his age. But falling in love, warning from a doctor, this man may be able to stop and moderate. My personal opinion, I think Alcoholics Anonymous is full of them people who just keep coming back, who can just stop. Oh, something bad happened, I'll stop. When's the last time you wrote an inventory? When's the last time you screwed somebody over in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous? Oh, well, man, you're sick. Yeah, but you don't understand what it means to be an alcoholic, a psychopath like me. You know? When's the last time you wrote an inventory? When's the last time you realized that you're a selfish piece of crap? And that as much as you want to live by these principles, you can't. Sucks. Keep going. Get out of this. Leave me alone.
At a certain point in the drinking of
Go to 24. You flip 24. Read. The fact is, most alcohol reason yet has lost the power and choice in drinking. I've lost the power and choice in what I'm going to do now. I don't have no power. I run out of God's grace, obsession. You got to remember. I've lost the power and choice in drinking. My so-called willpower completely non-existent. If I had willpower, I'd just join the damn DARE program and say no. It don't work like that for me. I have to get pretty badly mango before I commence to solve my problem, you know? Can you read it?
We are unable
at certain times to bring the conscience with sufficient force to suffer humiliation for him a month or week ago. So if I can't remember losing everything, I can't remember robbing people, I can't remember being in the Red Roof Inn, I can't remember swearing to God I'm not going to do that shit again, why the fuck am I taking my time to find God? That's what we like doing with step one and talking to people and it's like, you know, look, whatever you're saying, if I'm working with you, whatever you're saying, I'm telling you the exact fucking opposite because you're fucking insane right now. Because right now, coming out of treatment, your head is thinking about all the shit you need to do to fix this shit. Instead of like, are you ready to find God? I know it's not popular, but are you ready to stay up at fucking midnight and hit them fucking streets running? What you got to lose, man? If you're not, that's fine. If you think you can smoke pot, I will support you. And I did. And he died a month ago. Not even a month ago, a couple weeks ago. I will support anything you want to do. If you think you can just drink, if you think one day if you think that this is just a pass-through, do whatever. You think church could save you, I will encourage you to follow your heart. But I'm here for the bozo that can't stop. I'm here for the guy that thinks everything's great, but nobody talks about the shit that's haunting them at night. I don't know, man. I used to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and then I used to be a part of them sober living houses, and they used to tell me 10, 11, and 12, you're so sick. And you don't understand what goes through this fucking mind of mine. When I'm spiritually sick, I don't sleep. My head runs nonstop. And if you're lucky, you can read comments. I don't read comments. You got to think about it. You know, y'all can read a whole bunch of shit. I look at Facebook as pictures. I don't read. I read 4 articles about fishing, and that means I was excited. I get excited about sex, and I won't read a sex story. So that's how serious this shit is about reading. I don't read books. My sponsees read books to me. Why would I read a book? I have a book thrift store where they give me free books because I order so many big books. And I can't even read them. Now, that ain't alcoholic. What is? Oh, ass backwards, ass doom. Been in special ed his whole life. Got a thrift book. It's like, look, man, I got this free Dr. Bob Good Old Time. You want to read that bitch? Read it to me, a little bedtime story, okay? I used to read when we had tie night, and And then me and my fiance started doing it, and I get so much more out of it when she reads. That's why Michael reads. That's why Tevin reads for years. Because if I'm trying to read and pronounce it and speak it, yeah, I'm screwed. So read it. Let me see what God's telling me. That's always a little bit different. And let's go. Let's go. And then what's the cool thing? That period, with Alcoholics Anonymous, you cannot do nothing on your own. You need God. You need a sponsor. You need a sponsee. This meeting is done with someone very special wrote on the board. Someone helped set up. Someone makes sure everything's cleaned up. Someone cleaned the parking lot. Somebody reads. And somebody goes up here and confess everything that they done and everything they messed up and how they post spiritual quotes on Facebook to disturb more people. It's not like I'm sitting here telling other people. I'm bringing you where I'm at. People will be like, hey, he's talking about me. No, it's just I'm talking about myself. That's all I got to do is talking about yourself. Like, that's what you say. If you're worried about what people think about you, you're in the wrong place. You're so worried about, oh, somebody's going to think I'm sick. You're in the wrong fucking place, bro. That's how you helping people. You tell them where you at. Yeah. Or you bring them where they're at 3 months sober, you know? So go down, let's go to page 30 before we get out of here. Most alcoholics
have been unwilling to admit we were real alcoholics.
There it is, real alcoholic. If you're not convinced of the A, B's, and C's, I'm not about to work a 4-step with you. Like I tell you, hey, do you have any reservation? Do you think you could you could tell me, you'd be like, man, I think I could try it. I think this sober living house, look, if you think that's going to fix you, go do it. I'm going to encourage you. Because if you're like me, it's not going to work. I don't have to beat you into that. I used to do that. There you go. Try to beat you to convince. That's not going to do it. Figure it out, bro. You know, when you get older in sobriety, you just get wore out and you're like, do whatever. You get desperate enough, you end up in that damn living room. And you probably end up in there doing 1, 2, and 3 with another guy still shooting dope. So, come on. You know? I had a guy old school I took through the steps about 3 years ago. And there was 4 other guys. And old school and one guy is the only guy still alive. You know? Crazy. It's just crazy. You know? You know? Keep reading.
No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally different from his fellows. Therefore, it is not surprising that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like other people. The idea that somehow, someday, we will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker.
So if I'm trying to figure out if I could control it and enjoy it, you're abnormal. Because you know what my dad does? Controls it, and he enjoys it. He eats lower tabs. He used to only eat them on the weekend. Now he eats them one every day, you know, or a half every day. And he's like, oh, I ain't eating them because I'm hurting. Made me feel high. I enjoy the high off of them. But he'll stop. If he wants to, he'll stop. He has the power of that. Huh? What would I do? I would eat 1 a day for a week. Then I eat 2 a day. And then I eat 3 a day. And then for long, that's not working. I'm going to need some Roxy. Then for long, I'm going to need something else because that ain't working. I'm dumping so much in my body, I can't stop, you know? Keep reading.
The persistence of this illusion is astonishing.
Many pursue it in what?
To the gates of insanity or death. We learned that we had to fully conceive to our innermost selves that we were
To our inner, not to your damn sponsor, not to your counselor, not to your sober living house, not to the damn treatment center. You know, I've done a lot of service work. I'm not bashing treatment center, but I did a lot of service work. They want me to come do their guy's 5th step, and they want me to come do this. And I used to think like all of them. You know, hey, if I could just get them to a 5th step. I did that to so many people. I just need to get them to a 5th step. Now, you guys, some of these 2 guys sitting in this room, and I've done their inventories and treatment. And the first thing I say, are you fucking convinced? And then I ask them, who do you come to believe in? I said, who? And they're like, oh, God. I didn't ask you all that, man. Who are you willing to follow? You believe in God. Hell, we believe in God a lot. It don't mean we've restored to our right mind. But who do you, what drunk, like you come to believe in her, are you willing to follow her? Then the bad thing is, if she ain't sober but 18 years, then she only go to 1 meeting a week. So you going to go to 1 meeting a week? That's where the newcomers keep my old ass in check. I'm still trying to keep up with Tevin. And if he caught me when I was 3 or 4 years sober, me and him would have been like Batman and Robin. We'd have been banned from everything, okay? You know? We got a few places still let us at, you know what I mean? but you don't want to let them outdo you. So you like, look, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going. And then once you've been sober a while, a couple of years, year 2, year 3, now you're trudging. Now you're bouncing stuff off each other, writing inventories together, asking what God revealed to you on pen and paper. Now you're just growing. You and the man must walk hand in hand. It's the day spiritual progress. Where's that shit at? Vision for you. Are you experiencing that in your fellowship? Where's Alcoholics Anonymous at? Where are we at? What are we doing? It's sad. I've been there. That's why we have this meeting. Well, people may find the fellowship that you crave. You got to crave it. You got to want it. So, we can read this one thing. We're going to get out of here.
The delusion that we are like other people, or presently may be, has to be smashed.
That was the grinder for me. That was the X. That was my step one, the water overdoing. That the delusion I was like other people presently maybe has to be smashed. So when I walked in Alcoholics Anonymous, I discarded everybody in there besides some people that I really didn't really care for. And I grabbed them and did what the hell ever they were doing. I didn't walk in AA and say, because I've been in and out of AA for like 10 years. I've been around AA for 20 years. I'm 34. I was 14 years old, picked up my first Desire chip. So I've been around for a long time. So I knew there's some people doing shit that I used to do. Can't fuck with them people, man. Hey, I'm not saying I'm not going to associate with you. I'm not saying I ain't going to help you. But look, man, I'm on people I grew up with, people I did that with. You think I'm like, oh, my boy, this is what I'm doing. And either they get in a boat or they stay the fuck away from me. I'm not like, yeah, I'll still be your friend. You want to talk about the rap video you put out or something, we'll talk about it. But this is it's kind of like jail. You don't want no partners in jail. Dude hit the line, you know from the streets, you're just like, all right, look, I'm going nudge on, man. And get me out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not, look, this is different. This is where I live at. This is where I escape disaster. This is where I try to help people. This is where I pray and meditate all day on. This is where I get some freedom at. From the kids, from the job. So very, very important. A delusion like where other people presently maybe has to be smashed. We can see to our innermost self that we was real alcoholic. So it's very, very important. You come to believe in whoever you want. But if I believe that this guy is just going to one meeting a week, talking about he's just got all this relationship going on, then he ain't got time to fuck with me. So it's very important that I roll with the people that's really, for me, unpopular when I first get sober. Because if you look like, I wasn't the type, I say this to shut up. All my past when I relapsed, when I got out of treatment, I'm like, I can't wait to work AA. I can't wait to work AA because I didn't know what AA looked like. And then today, I could see what AA looks like what my sponsor was. And I was not like, I can't wait to work AA. It's like this dude's out every night, not going to bed at 8 to 10 o'clock at night. This dude's writing inventories, talking to God, want me to meet with him 3 times a week. And I'm excited about that. Be honest with yourself. That shit is not popular. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. And if you ain't did nothing today, you helped me stay sober. And I'm truly grateful for you. And we're going to close with the Lord's Prayer. Who has all knowledge and power? Our Father, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation.